You do not understand, K-pop fans. There are a lot of people saying that SuperM don't deserve the Grammy. We did not have to witness that terrible mushroom cut for him to not deserve a Grammy. Hi, welcome to my totally legit news show. I'm your host, Angelina, and today we're going to be talking about the BTS versus SuperM Grammy catastrophe that has taken over the internet. And we're also going to talk about IZ*ONE's comeback delay and theories as to why it might have been delayed in the first place. So let's get started. Actually, I'm going to stop you right there to remind you to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have because I feel like this is going to ruffle some feathers. Haha, get it, parrots? So now the first story we're going to talk about is this whole BTS versus SuperM Grammy nomination feud that has graced this here internet. Now, how did this start? Well, Billboard released an article titled Grammys First-Look, the Most-Likely Big Four Contenders. In this article, they go on to predict who they think has the best bet, a good chance, or is within reach of winning either Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, or Best New Artist. And in a very controversial statement, they have said, and I quote, SuperM has a chance of becoming the first K-pop group to be nominated in this category with its self-titled EP, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. The audacity, am I right? On a little side note, every time I tell my non-K-pop friends, my non-K-pop acquaintances, non-K-pop people about my scandals, they're always like, what? People are mad at you for that? And I'm like, listen, you do not understand, K-pop fans. But for real, why are ARMYs really angry in this situation? Because from what I've seen on notably Twitter, there is a lot of backlash in regards to this statement by Billboard. Well, the answer is BTS was nowhere in their predictions. But I will also add that these are merely predictions, right? Like, Billboard is not the Grammys. Billboard is just saying who they think could have a really good chance or is within reach of really winning these awards. And honestly, I don't think there's, one K-pop artist over another who is more deserving of a Grammy. Except for 21, but the Grammys will never admit that because they're elitist. Now, there are a lot of people saying that SuperM don't deserve a Grammy nomination because they were only formed in 2019. But it's actually the fact that they were formed in 2019 that make them eligible for the Best New Artist category. However, I will also point out that there are some members of SuperM who have a lot of seniority, notably Taemin, who was in SHINee in 2008, and I will add, we did not have to witness that terrible mushroom cut for him to not deserve a Grammy. But I mean, of course, not all ARMYs are necessarily angry at, SuperM in particular. Though some, of course, are. However, there are many that are just angry at the Grammys themselves. Especially since they feel that the Grammys have been using BTS for clout, and especially since BTS attended the Grammys last year, but didn't even get to perform one of their own songs as many people really wanted them to. The following tweet elaborates, "My problem isn't another group getting nominated for a Grammy. My problem is BTS not being nominated for one, even though the Grammys milk all their fame for views. Sick and twisted." However, on the other side of things, there are also a lot of people accusing SM of buying a Grammy nomination, which wouldn't really make sense since this is a Billboard article that is just doing some predictions. But let's talk a little bit about how SM essentially finessed the system in being so strategic with the creation of SuperM, allowing them to even potentially be nominated for a Grammy to begin with. I feel like SuperM fans are going to come after me. This isn't like a negative thing. This is actually really smart. So here's the thing. SuperM, through a technicality, is a new group, but we all know in our hearts they are perfectly curated from already established super famous groups already. So these already established groups would have otherwise not been eligible for this Best New Artist category. However, SM did something very smart, a very smart business move to create SuperM, to create a technically new group out of people from already established groups, right? Because you couldn't have achieved this with an actually new K-pop group. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's possible, but very unlikely that a new K-pop group would come into the scene and blow up to that extent, while, keep in mind, simultaneously even being acknowledged by the elitist people at the Grammys. compared to if you put a bunch of people together who already had a very secure, established fan base. So it's actually pretty genius if you think about it. But I also need to clarify, because I feel like people are going to accuse me of saying that SM fooled the system. I'm not saying that SM did anything shady. I'm saying SM did something very strategic, something that was, from a marketing point of view, very, very intelligent. So it's incredibly smart. And we have to understand that right now we're talking about Billboard predictions. You know, the Grammys have not released their nominations at all. People are literally getting so angry over a third party's predictions. It's kind of like if I made a Grammy prediction video but made it K-pop. Oh my god! Guess what I'm doing next? Album of the year, 21, but that was in 2009. I don't really care. This is my award show. But regardless, either way, whether it's BTS who wins a Grammy or SuperM who wins a Grammy, it's still like a huge feat for the K-pop industry as a whole. You know, when Big Bang won MTV Europe Music Award, I really don't think there were so many people who were like, oh my god, no, like this group deserves it more. No, this group deserves it more. There are so many groups that are so talented and deserve the world, right? We can all acknowledge that. But in 2012, we were all just really excited because it was like a K-pop first. I don't know if it was in 2012. I'm really not good with time at all. 2011? Not 2013. I feel it in my heart it was 2012. But you know what I mean? Like, of course, you know, you would want BTS to win because you feel they deserve it. But because you feel they deserve it doesn't mean that anyone else doesn't deserve it. There are so many groups who have paved the way before BTS. There are so many groups who are going to pave the way after BTS. There are so many groups who are well deserving of so many things. I feel like people are going to be so mad for me saying that. I'm gonna get canceled for saying that. So to end this story, I would like to ask you, if you ran the Grammys, who would win the following categories? Best New Artist, Album of the Year, and Song of the Year. So if we go for my 2019 picks, for Best New Artist, I would pick ITZY, and for Best Album of the Year, CL in the Name of Love, and for Best Song of the Year, Spring. So now let's move on to my segment called Kpop Shenanigans, which is named by this lovely individual. This is basically fun things that have happened in K-pop recently. I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and usually ATEEZ release their episodes on Wednesdays and Fridays. Where is it though? Anyways, Starship Entertainment's new boy group Gravity have released their music video for Cloud 9. We also have Sana that appeared on Stray Kids V-Live to show support for their comeback, and their music video for said comeback has since been released. We also have Red Velvet's Yeri, who released episode 3 of her radio show, and in it featured Nayeon from Twice. And lastly, we have Blackpink, who have been releasing so many teaser photos that it's almost stressing me out. So don't forget, if you want me to highlight something that your idols did that you think is fun, just send me a DM. Okay, so now we're going to move on to IZ*ONE's comeback and how it was delayed and reasons for why it might have been delayed. So on the morning of the 15th, I woke up and I wanted to watch their music video, as one does, and I ended up watching it and thinking to myself, this seems like just a teaser being played over and over again. And it being 6 a.m., it took me a full 2 minutes to realize that I was watching a fake music video on a fake Stone Music Entertainment YouTube channel. I was perturbed, but apparently 10 minutes before it was supposed to be uploaded, Off the Records and Swing Entertainment announced that the music video for IZ*ONE's Secret Story of the Swan would be delayed. Now, the reasons for why it would be delayed were vague. Actually, they didn't really give a reason at all. However, some fans are speculating that they had to delay the release of the music video because they had received a lot of backlash for the first teaser that they released because one of the members was wearing diamonds on her forehead, which resembled a bindi. And this actually seems to be the case because when you compare the teaser to the actual music video, you see that the diamonds have effectively been removed. So it seems that they might have used some type of CGI to remove them. And fans are quite happy about this as well. One tweet reading, "Wow, I'm actually so happy because I think the MV was delayed to edit out Imbi's bindi. Like ideally that wouldn't have been there in the first place, but at least they're being sensitive to fans' complaints about cultural appropriation." Another tweet reading, "Swing edited out the bindi that was originally placed on Imbi. That's why the video was delayed. They listened to our emails." So yeah, I thought that was really interesting because that's the first thing I noticed when I was watching the music video, that the bindi or the diamonds were removed. They were no longer there. I also did want to quickly point out that I have updated the resources in the description box of this video for the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as resources for Indigenous organizations that you can also support. On top of that, I've also included information on the crisis going on in Yemen, as well as how you can help. Again, if you have the resources, please use them. Even if you don't, time is also a wonderful resource. You can, of course, sign some petitions or volunteer. So yeah, again, I will leave the resources in the description box, and I will also pin them in a comment. Okay, so that is basically it for this video. Thank you so much if you made it this far, and if you did, you might as well click on another one of my videos to show YouTube that you like my content before I inevitably fall off the face of the earth due to irrelevancy, which is close, by the way. Let's make the best of it. Also, I'm releasing my merch soon. I'm just nervous. Like, it's ready, but like, I'm nervous. I just like, is this design dumb? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm nervous. I have other designs that I plan on releasing after, but like, I'm just nervous about it. So that's coming soon. I plan on releasing it along with a very special video, hopefully before Blackpink's comeback, because it's unlike the content that I release. It's more in line with content that I used to release. So also a huge thank you to my channel members for supporting my channel in a different way. I really appreciate your support. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. As for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!